Four countries are represented in the crowd, in the grandstands, and in the infield. They've all come to see the excitement of Talladega. You get it for free, live on NBC.
Okay, already? Ready. But anyway, let's go racing, boys and girls.
Car right there in the left lane with Dale Jr. in the front car right behind him. That car got really, really loose when he pulled up in that third lane with Earnhardt behind him.
187 to go. And now these cars will begin to get up to full speed. With the restrictor plate, it takes about a lap and a half, almost 2 full laps, to get up to full speed.
Check out Rusty Wallace. He has that 2-car up on the outside trying to work his way from the back to the front.
Rusty lost an engine in qualifying.
What an unbelievable picture. These cars around the backstretch. I talked to Jamie McMurray in that 42 car off on the outside, followed by Junior. Talked to him last night, Wally. He said he has the best car he's ever had at Talladega. The car is flying.
Tony Stewart trying to get the lead and 5 bonus points.
Not quite this lap. Or will he? I think he got it.
5 bonus points for Stewart. Of the 10 drivers in the chase for the championship, those drivers are highlighted in Nextel yellow on the ticker at the top of your screen. On board with Tony.
Here comes his teammate, Bobby Labonte, in that 18 car.
Bump draft.
There's the bump draft we talked about. And that's actually pretty nice right there. They'll get a lot harder as the race goes on. These guys will just be slamming each other in that back bumper.
Bill, when you talk to crew chiefs in the garage all weekend long, they said the 20 car is who you want to run with. He can run anywhere. He's the car to beat. Latch onto him and you'll go or stay up at the front. Right now, he's got his teammate latched out of the bumper, AB.
Dale Jarrett sometimes has taken the strategy here at Talladega of dropping to the back of the pack and riding for a while in this race, saying it doesn't do you any good to try and finish if you're not around when the checkered flag waves. Today, with this brand new race car he's driving, Todd Parrott, the crew chief, says we're going to try and stay up front as long as we can. That's the safest place to be on this racetrack.
And AB, he might have the horsepower to do it today, because the 88, 38, and also the 21 car have some engines in the car today, a little bit experimental, a little more horsepower, but they wonder about the durability. That's why they have them, to get ready for the Daytona 500 in February.
You can go fast, but can you last is the question.
That's the key. That's what they're trying to find out.
Rusty Wallace had a start at the back of the field, has worked his way up to 25th. He's in the middle of that pack, right next to Mark Martin, Matt.
His longtime racing friend, now Rusty, told me that the Penske plate program has really stepped it up this year. He's trying to take advantage of it in his final restrictor plate race here today. He told me he doesn't want to be in the middle of the pack. First choice, obviously the front, second choice at the back. But he says anywhere from the middle on back, usually that's where trouble finds people.
That yellow line is out of bounds. You cannot go down there and pass. If you do, you must give the position back, or NASCAR will bring you in for a conversation.
And that's why Tony Stewart backed off and let that 88 car get back in front of him. You think he had such a run? Or?
Well, I think that was probably some of it. I don't know why he went down there so low. He didn't really need to go that far down, but sometimes you forget about that line when you're racing in a pack like this.
There they are, 4 wide going down to turn 1 at 190 miles per hour.
And these cars look like they're glued to the racetrack, but believe me, they're not. These cars are a handful right now, and most of it has to do with the air. It's all the air turbulence especially in the middle of this pack of racing, is making the car do weird things. Sometimes it won't turn going into the corner, and then the next lap it'll get sideways going into the corner. It just depends where the cars are positioned and where the cars are positioned around your car. I mean, sometimes it's terrifying because you don't know what the car's going to do.
Sometimes,
Most of the time.
only between the green and the checkers.
Bill, you've driven a car down the freeway behind the truck.
Yes, sir.
You know that feeling how the car moves around? That's exactly what these cars feel like every foot around the speedway.
Magnify at times 100.
Guys in single file trying to break away from this pack.
Eye care can be complicated.
Where we talk about, hanging guys out to dry. Now, right here's Rusty. He's on board right now. He is in the middle of this pack. You can see all these guys are all bump drafting each other right now. You can hear Rusty working the throttle. This is where you have to be really, really careful in this race, because when you're in that middle lane, any guy around you makes a mistake, and you could be in the wreck. Hear him backing off the throttle?
And when you do that, you lose the momentum.
You see how the car's floating around, especially through the tri-oval. These cars are, like I said, they're not stuck to the racetrack like they look. These things are just all over the place.
This track, rough.
Very rough.
Yeah, but it's not. It's not as rough as some places they race at. You can see the cars going through the bumps, but a lot of it is the air.
Sadler leads, and here's Ryan Newman moving inside of Jimmy Johnson.
And inside Kenseth, the 17 car.
And Newman would like those 5 bonus points for leading the lap as well, and so would Matt Kenseth.
Junior, on the move, Alan.
Yeah, 5-time Talladega winner, BP. This race car, Tony Eury Jr., the crew chief, started on 2 weeks ago, Friday. It has been to the wind tunnel in those 2 weeks 5 times, getting ready for this one race. Looking to get DEI back up front at Talladega. Marty?
Alan, they talked about the guys wanting the 5 bonus points. Matt Kenseth trying that high line to get those 5 bonus points. Going around Elliott Sadler. Sadler gets a little bit loose, but Matt said, I need the 5 bonus points, but today I have the best combination of body, car, and engine I've ever had at a restrictor plate race. Not only can we win, we can lead much of this race.
And there he is in front.
Tell you what, I don't know for how long. There's another couple teammates right behind him that have quietly worked their way to the front. That's Jimmy Johnson and Jeff Gordon.
Talked to Matt Kenseth's crew chief Robbie Reiser for about a minute in the garage this morning inside their hauler. He was so nervous he didn't even want to talk about the race. I said, are you in a bad mood? He goes, no. I said, Talladega? He goes, yep. I said, I'll see you at Kansas.
Kenseth, he received those 5 bonus points for leading the lap.
A contender in the chase for the Nextel Cup. We're going to take a break. If trouble breaks out, we'll break in. You're watching NASCAR live on NBC.
Inside, he's got help. Pulls open. Inside, 3 wide. No help right there, bud. 7 car coming inside. Three wide. Still down there. Be patient, buddy. We'll get it back. Good job. Got some help from the 9 car there. Two cars inside the 2 car. lined up inside. Inside. 3 wide.
Insurify. At Insure.
Still under green here at Talladega. Coming around to complete lap number 13 here are our AutoZone and the Zone drivers at Talladega. Junior with 5 wins in his last 8 races. Tony Stewart, good runs here. And of course, Jeff Gordon won here back in May. Our AutoZone and the Zone drivers at Talladega. Swap the lead up front. Sadler has it back. Matt Kenseth had it for a couple of laps. And Jimmy Johnson wants it, Alan.
Yeah, it wants it badly, Bill. Remember we talked about his car getting some damage on its left rear corner in yesterday's final practice session. They had to repair the bodywork on the car, basically from the rear glass back to the back bumper. I asked Crew Chief Chad Canals if there were any concerns about it. He said, no, we think we've got it all pretty close. The only thing Jimmy said is he thinks the left side fender skirt, that piece of metal that hangs down between the wheels toward the ground to seal the air from under the car, he thinks that's dragging just a bit. Otherwise, really good.
See that 6th car on the left-hand side there, that blue Viagra Ford of Mark Martin from 24th to 6th. The only driver in the chase that has won here, he's got Dale Earnhardt Jr. on his rear bumper. How about it, Marty? And guys, that's exactly where Mark wanted to be. He wants to run the high line. He told me that yesterday in final practice, the low line was not good for him. Bogged the car down, car wouldn't go to the low line. The top line was very, very good for Mark. And he said, I'm committed to that for most of the day. Maybe the middle group, but the top group is what works for me. Dave?
The car continues to lead. The pole sitter is staying out front, and fuel mileage may come into play here today. Most teams being able to run between 35 and 37 laps for sure, but the 38 car will not be making a stretching fuel run like they might have. They tried some different changes to their carburetor, which would have saved fuel, but it really took away maneuverability for Elliott Sadler, so they stayed with a fuel-consuming, powerful setup on the 38.
From 1st to 43rd, 3.9 seconds. Jimmy Johnson looking for the lead on the high side.
Jamie McMurray looking for the lead on the low side.
And Elliott Sadler trying to hold it in the middle.
So who's going to win?
Through the tri-oval to the start-finish line, which is down close to turn number 1.
Yeah, McMurray didn't really have any help on his rear bumper, and that's what cost him right there. Now he's got some help there with the 17. The 17 actually pushing him.
And Jamie led that lap.
Marty? Wow, this is just fun to watch, isn't it, guys? McMurray told me his car is so good, he feels like he can almost pass people by himself without any help. He can get a good run off of a corner. He thinks he can pass someone without the draft behind him. He said, like other people have said, best speedway car in combination I've ever had. I feel like we can lead a lot today, and I work well with everybody, including, he mentioned specifically, Elliott Sadler. Fun to watch, but is it fun to race? Jeff Gordon's had a lot of success at this track. We asked him that question.
There's times that I absolutely love it, and then there's times when I absolutely hate it. You know, I think that the rules package that we have right now is the best that I've seen it. The cars can still pass, they can still close up, but they don't close up so much where we're just running all into one another. And everybody's gotten their cars so close. The drivers have learned so much about the draft that, you know, it makes for very, very tight quarters. I'd say the only thing that I am against, and it's nothing we can do about it, it's just that the slightest little mistake by anybody, we all make them throughout the race, can cause a 20, 30 car pileup. And I'm just fortunate that our cars are as safe as they are these days.
And, you know, Jeff was right behind Jimmy Johnson earlier, went to a commercial, and what happened was Johnson was out front and he was trying to break the draft on the low side, the high side, and Jeff caught him and had to jump out of the throttle not to hit Jimmy Johnson, and he wound up losing about 10 or 12 spots. So I think Jeff's got a really good car, and he's working his way back up. But AB, I think he's going to be pretty tough today.
Wally, I can give you the very latest on Jeff's car, direct from his radio. He said the front end not gripping as well as he'd like, a little bit sliding the nose in the corners in this tight grip. Down the backstretch. Jamie McMurray leading the field.
You see Kurt Busch, 97 car is way back there, currently running in 35th position.
Matt?
Bill, 2 issues for the 97 of Busch. Now first, he thought he passed the 41 of Casey Mears under the yellow line, so he had to lag back to let Mears go back by. Also, his spotter, Jimmy Brickhouse, reports to the team they think they may have some slight cosmetic damage with the crash.
Trouble in turn 1.
Oh, car on its roof.
Michael Waltrip. Mark Martin is in it. One of the championship contenders.
Elliott Sadler, the pole sitter, the 38 car.
Damage.
That's Mark Martin's car right there. I couldn't really tell.
No steering at all.
No steering at all, Mark said, but obviously is okay.
Constant reminders of your body.
Sometimes he's just along for the ride. And that's what these guys in the chase especially were concerned about. What we're worried about is this right here.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. got part of it.
Hey, flat tires.
I got a lot of damage. I hit pretty hard.
Allen. Yeah, championship leader Jimmy Johnson got a piece of that also, Bill. He has called into his crew some right side damage on the car. Crew chief Chad Knaus calling Jimmy in. They're going to change the right side tires, check it over, send him back out to stay on the lead lap and make a game plan for if there's anything else they need to address.
Not too bad though, Alan. He got away with a lot of it there. Let's see if we can see what happens here, BP. You see Mark Martin there, and oh, looks like Elliott Sadler got turned by Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah, looked like he got hit by the 48 car getting down the corner.
And Michael went over twice. Look at the rear end hanging out of Michael Waltrip's car.
The 00 is Mike Skinner.
Okay, watch up front. Watch the 48 car. And he just tags the 30. Just tags him. Just doesn't take a whole lot.
Michael coming here.
Poor Michael, he has no place. He makes contact with Rusty Wallace and Mark Martin.
That's what sent him over.
Yeah, Mark's the one that launched him.
Oh, man, those cars just getting by on the bottom side.
And like I said, he just looks like these cars are glued, but it just takes somebody to touch one of these bumpers in the wrong way, especially when you're in the corner. You can do it on the straightaway, as long as your steering wheel is straight, but it doesn't take a whole lot to get them sideways.
It really is a tightrope when you're racing here. I mean,
you've got to respect everybody, and you're so tight all the time. If the guy slips a little bit and gets out of the throttle, you've got somebody that's right on your bumper, so it doesn't take much for somebody to get into you.
so several cars involved. 20 laps are complete. They continue to work on those cars. Meanwhile, the field on pit road. Marty.
Well, Matt Kenseth said his car is very good. He's going to take 2 tires here, a little bit tight off the corners. They make an air pressure adjustment to the right front. Matt?
The 20's already in. Not sure if you ran through any debris. They were talking about going with a 4-tire change, but they're going 2 tires. Dave.
Top of your screen for Greg Biffle. He knows that he ran through debris, so he said we've got to change 4 tires on the 16.
Alan. Jeff Gordon taking 4 tires, bottom left of your screen. You'll see the race off pit road on the right side of the screen. Gordon going to lose some spots by getting the 4 tires. Marty?
And Dale Earnhardt Jr. Is surveying the damage from the Chevrolet. He came into the garage here. And we'll give him just one moment. We'll get to him just a second. We had him a second ago, but his crew called him over to look at the right front. But a lot of damage to the 8 car, and we'll get a word with Junior in a second.
Boy, a lot of guys down on that garage. Very crowded working on those cars. Junior, a 5-time winner here, but not today. This was a moment ago. Mark Martin climbing out of his car. 2-time winner at this track, 4 times second in the championship standings. Was hoping to get through here with some points.
And we all know how much he wants this championship. On board with Junior. Watch Mark Martin.
Okay, keep coming, buddy. Keep coming. Clear low. Clear low.
On board with Michael Waltrip.
This should be pretty wild. This is what you see out of the windshield.
Right in front of you. Come on around. Come on.
And he just got hit. He got hit. There's not a whole lot you can do when you're in the middle of that, Marty.
Yeah, guys, and after his team called him to look under the hood, it's terminal damage, but what happened to start all that?
I don't know. The 38 and the 20 or the 48s just stopped in the corner, right in the middle of the corner, and I didn't have anywhere to go. I hit Jimmy square, but I guess he had the 38 by the corner and just turned the 38 around. I don't know why they stopped. You had to ask them, whether they got together or something in front of us or whatever, but I couldn't do nothing going that fast.
The racing seemed to be quite intense very early today, Junior.
Well, that's what we get paid for.
All right, Dale Earnhardt Jr. will be done for the day.
And his teammate Michael Waltrip got out of his car, we were told, under his own power. Mike Skinner, Joe Nemechek, Mark Martin, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Michael Waltrip, Elliott Sadler, Jimmy Johnson all involved in that crash. And you can add the 2 of Rusty Wallace, another championship contender that got a piece of it. We'll update you when we come back to Talladega. Coming to the green, here's our Miller race fact. The pole sitter has won only one of the last 19 Talladega races. We can cross that out and make that 20. Because Elliott Sadler was on the pole, and he will not win today.
Just an amazing statistic.
Back to green.
Matt Kenseth, a 2-tire stop. Tony Stewart, 2 tires. Al Busch, I'm sure 2 tires. Probably the...
Count Rusty out. Boy, he's right there. He's there. Rusty Wallace. Now the 8 and the 15 are together.
Well, here goes Elliott Sadler on the inside.
Oh, look at Junior push Michael. Michael's car was wiggling back and forth into the corner. Earnhardt's had that 15 car sideways a couple times today. Junior tried to squeeze down, and Waltrip to the lead. He gets in front of Kurt Busch. 8 to go. Mark Martin behind Junior. Jeff Gordon there, right side of the screen in the 24 car. He got 4 tires on that last pit stop. He's up to 10. Newman right behind him. Yep. Keep an eye on those guys. Great drive for Mike Wallace, the 09 car. Black, orange, and yellow stripes on it. Right in the thick of things. He was 7th last time across the start-finish line. Walker moves up in front of Junior. And back down in front of Kurt Busch. And splits the middle.
Here comes Junior trying to go by Busch for second spot.
Wallace down on the inside.
Gets on the inside of Elliott Sadler, moves him up the hill.
Trying to get behind his brother, Rusty. You're Michael Waltrip. You can't like seeing this because one of those 2 lines of cars behind you is going to start to move, and you have to guess which one. Well, that's why he's doing what he's doing. He's just mirror driving all over the racetrack.
Oh, trouble. Elliott Sadler over 1.5 and on his roof.
Now the car tumbling hard onto the pavement in turn 3.
Workers already there. Yeah.
That's why we don't race back to the line.
That is a record.
Yes,
How
sir.
fast they got to that car. That's great to see. The attention already focused on the Elliott Sadler car.
Yeah, we see him taking his helmet off. And they're going to red flag the race.
Yeah, we've not passed the lap yet at which they would not use the red flag. So they're going to stop the field on the back straightaway, and we're going to go under the red flag. Look at the damage to that car. What a heavy hit that thing.
Well, that thing was hitting on asphalt.
Yeah.
Normally we see that on grass, but this was on asphalt.
And for everybody that wonders why they use the carburetor restrictor plates to control speed, it's just for that reason. There's a certain speed at which, when you turn one of these race cars around backwards, it goes up in the air.
You see this area right here above the driver, they call it like the birdhouse. Right here, this area looks good.
Yeah.
That's what's protecting the driver, and that really held up well.
There we see the car stopping.
And here he comes out the window.
Now, that's great.
Easy does it. Yeah, don't cut yourself. Boy, that's good.
He's out.
Scary, scary crash for Elliott Sadler.
Let me get my breath before I take a step.
I'm dizzy.
Now, this is the way we used to race here. And it was not too bad then. Just kind of get in line, ride along, and
That won't last long.
as a matter of fact, we used to get in line, ride along, and follow Earnhardt, come to think of it.
Makes sense to us.
Yeah, do it, gang, do it. Let's do it.
Turn up that surround sound. Let's crank it up. What's wrong with Tony Stewart? He was with the lead pack, back on the lead lap, started in the back, but he cannot hold the pack. Meanwhile, Clint Boyer in the 07 has brushed the wall.
I believe Tony's got some kind of engine problem because he is dropping back in a hurry. 07's got quite a bit of right side damage. He's going to have to come to pit road with those tires rubbing.
Oh, yeah, we're good. You just made her a little smaller. She'll be faster now.
I'm not sure about that comment. Like you say, those tires rubbing, he's going to have to probably get to pit road. He actually whacked it a couple of pretty good whacks.
Yeah.
David Stremme in the 40 had to avoid Boyer.
He did narrow it up, but he also unlined it.
I can tell something must be happening on the racetrack because, once again, no one's sitting down here, and I think it's because of that number 8 car, Dale Earnhardt Jr., working his way toward the lead.
I tell you, that little run he made earlier to catch this pack all by himself, and that impressed me. That told me he's sitting on a pretty good piece.
Dale Jr. has won 5 of the last 11 Cup races at Talladega, including 4 in a row. And that grandstand is a sea of red. Red shirts and hats. As Junior is 3 cars from the lead, which is pretty hotly contested right here. Now, nowhere near this pack, Tony Stewart all by himself. Steve, what's wrong?
Mike, we just listened to Tony Stewart. He said somebody got on the brakes in front of him, and he had to check up or hit the brakes as well, and he just lost momentum.
And once you lose that draft, there's
car
no
goes
getting
around.
back.
I think it's the 07 going around up there in 3 and 4.
Boyer has crashed.
Yeah.
Very possibly cut
a
the
tire
down.
down. He did. I saw it snap.
Caution is out, which is a huge break again for Tony Stewart in that 20 car. Not a good break for Clint Boyer, but for sure Tony.
Now, Kurt Busch and Jeff Gordon were side by side at the moment of caution. But what matters on the scoring chart is where they were at the last of the
lot to get these big guys down in these cars.
Kurt Busch did not pit under this caution flag, neither did Dale Earnhardt Jr. Casey Mears, Martin Truex, Reed Sorensen, and they will lead the field back to the green flag.
We mentioned that Greg Biffle in the 16 car, he had stayed out as well. It's almost like that was a miscue because the next time by, they elected to bring that car to pit road for fuel.
That's one of those on further reviews.
Yep. You see him build speed in the back straightaway. Clint Boyer checked and released from the infield care center. He's okay.
In about 10 laps of halfway, Clint Boyer joins Dale Jarrett, Robbie Gordon, Carl Edwards, Paul Menard, 5 cars out of this race.
I mentioned before that when we had that first caution there that we were averaging 192 miles an hour. These cautions have slowed us back down now to averaging about 168. So we get some long green here, long green flag racing, that average speed will come right back up there again.
Dale Jr., second place, looking over Kurt Busch.
You know, you look at Kurt Busch in that 2 car, just think back to the Daytona 500. What a great race car he had. Of course, Tony Stewart gets loose, he gets into the back of him. But when you look at his races here, 12 starts, in the last 5 races, he has not finished worse than 8. But right now, that 8 car, he wants the lead of this 500-mile race coming off turn 4, and he's got help, and I think the crowd speaks for itself.
6 more times.
Oh, there we go. There we go. There was no way.
Oh, it's Kurt Busch. Boyer's in it. Bobby Labonte's in it. Stremmy's in it. Jeff Gordon down to the grass. And Kurt Busch went over and over.
Boyer, McMurray.
They're just, guys, I'm with Denny. And, you know, having been in these situations several times, there's no way you can race that way and make it.
Standing right alongside is TJ Majors, Dale Jr. spotter, as they try to work this out. We're going to get the restart with 4 laps to go. On the point, Ryan Newman trying to score the first win for what is Stewart Haas Racing. Dale Jr. trying to win 4 in a row for Rick Hendrick with 4 different drivers. Kurt Busch trying to get back to victory lane.
Not sure what Tony Stewart just did.
Tony's not going. Something's wrong with his car.
Yeah.
He's off the pace.
Not getting up to speed at all.
No. And you see what Dale Jr. was talking about. He's laying the wood to, he's laying a bumper to that 39 car, trying to get him away from the rest of the pack. But tell you what, that 31 and that 6, and maybe that 20 car, I think they may have a little something for that front 2 or 3.
No real big run yet. No real big run. You're
3 laps to go when they come back. Newman trying to hold the bottom.
And look at our buddy Carl Edwards, who hung around in the back all day. And here he is. He's in 8th position, right here in the back of this lead pack, in pretty darn good shape. Coming to 3 to go. 3 to go.
8-car breakaway at the front. Still a lot of action behind them. But likely one of these 8.
Larry, this is what you come to Talladega for. You come to Talladega for these unpredictable.
They're going to stall out before they get to Junior.
They got that run, baby.
And what's interesting, that's a Hendrick car running second. That's a Hendrick-related car leading the race. And that's a Hendrick-related car pushing Carl Edwards' white flag this time.
Yeah, Carl Edwards from the back all day to the lead with 1 to go.
3 Chevys and 1 Ford. And it doesn't matter now. Your friends are where you find them. And from hanging out back, Carl Edwards.
I'll tell you, I don't know if they can catch him. What we've seen today, 2 cars get that big a lit run on them. I don't know that the 39 and the 88 can catch them.
They're in the draft of Edwards and Keselowski.
He's all over you here, just you and him.
Carl Edwards restarted 8th.
If that 09 can stay hooked to the back of that 99, it's going to be hard to get him. It's going to be close right here at the line.
Can Keselowski try to win it?
I don't know. I don't think he can step out until he waits till the last second and picks up.
He goes to the outside. Is Edwards going to he turns him?
No.
Oh, and that destroyed the front
Unbelievable.
Carl Edwards' car destroyed, and Junior's protege, Keselowski, the winner, and Carl Edwards is moving around and ready to climb out.
Larry, look at that. The carburetor's gone off.
It's completely gone.
Carl did what he wanted to do. He stayed at the back all day long. He played it smart. Had this race possibly won. Not now. Not sure where Carl's going. Maybe he thinks if he runs across the start-finish line, it'll count.
That's what he's doing. That's what he's doing.
He's like you know how he is. He's an athlete, a marathon runner. I want to finish the race.
And he did,
yes,
to a standing ovation from the crowd. Shades of Ricky Bobby.
But when that win comes at a venue as significant as Talladega, it is something special. Brad Keselowski, as you pulled into victory lane, I saw your hands were shaking. Can you believe you just won a Sprint Cup race, and you did so at the biggest track of all?
Wow. Pinch me. I don't know. Am I awake?
I'm going to pinch you.
How about this team? God. How about that? All them fans out there, man. Thanks for coming. This is the best show on earth. I got to apologize to Carl for wrecking him, but, man, the rule is you can't go below the yellow line. And he blocked, and I wasn't going below it. So I don't want to wreck again.